Hello. Welcome back, my friend.
Hello. You're like more than a friend. You're like a special friend.
You're like my sister from another mister.
Okay, that sounds better than special friend. That sounds like
Yeah,
our
special
husbands might be
friends,
jealous.
right, might go a little farther than we're really willing to go here. It's been a little while, and it's so nice to be back in the studio. I downloaded Moran's book, her newest one, More Than a Woman. Thank you so much for telling me about this. It's really good.
I knew you had to read it. I just love her. She is often called the British Tina Fey. I really think she's more of a British Amy Poehler, but whatever.
I can see that.
She's a rabid feminist. She's also hilarious. She's bitingly funny. I know her from her books. I think if we lived in the UK, we would know her for more than that. She has, 3 different columns. If you're not familiar with Caitlin Moran,
go check her out.
Go check her out. She's great.
She's great.
But her newest book, what is it? More Than a Woman, I love because she is about my age. And so she ages with me. So I think the last book of hers, I was 10 years old and now we're 10 years into the future.
There you go.
And she has some more thoughts and they're kind of in line with my thoughts, but much funnier, much more well-worded.
Yes, she's very relatable. Honestly, since this is our first episode of season 2, baby, season 2, I was thinking we should start on an amazing note. We should play the game that she talks about in the book, the Name Your Vulva game. So I will go first.
Oh, wait, she goes into detail about, please stop calling it your vagina. That's the internal part, and your vulva, for those of you who don't know, it's the exterior part. All of the things, the mound, the grassy knoll, the pubic hair, the labia, all of these things, they all comprise collectively it's the vulva.
And we need to say the word vulva at least, a billion times?
Well, she said we need to say it a billion times, but then she also mentions this game where the name of the last movie that you saw becomes the name of your vulva.
Right.
Which is going to prevent us from saying vulva.
True, so, but it gets it into the playful realm of lexicon, right?
Sure.
Okay,
yeah. So let's just talk about our vulvas more.
Let's do.
How's yours today?
Great.
Mine's good. It's clean.
Mine's good.
I showered, soaped it up.
Yep, feeling good today. Okay. Fantastic. Yes, this chair is very comfortable. Not a problem.
Yeah. So what's the last movie you saw?
Okay, so last movie I watched last night with the hubster, Moxie.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one, yeah.
Can I just take that? Can I call mine my Moxie too?
No, got it. I got it.
No.
What's yours? Come on.
The Disaster Artist.
Hi, I'm Elle.
And I'm Candace.
And this is Weirdly Human. All right, welcome back, weirdos. Today, we're talking about humor, which is definitely a weirdly human behavior. And this got me thinking about what it takes to create a joke, what it takes to understand that the joke is funny, and what does it really mean to be funny?
Of course, that's what it got you thinking about. It got me thinking about trying to make this episode funny.
See, I think if you stop trying so hard, you're just naturally funny, which is one of the things I love hanging out with you, because you are inherently funny. You are witty.
Why you're my special friend.
I know, right? So I started this episode with listening to one of our favorite podcasts, The Hidden Brain. They had a great episode called Humor Us, 2 words. And that was fabulous.
It's a pun, guys. Humorous, humor us.
Oh my God, my nerd flag is flying today. And then I watched a really good TED Talk by neuroscientist Sophie Scott, Why We Laugh.
Neuroscience.
All right. So in that talk, I learned about there were 2 types of laughter. Real laughter, which is that deep, fun,
throw your head
back and contagious.
I can't breathe.
That we as adults hardly ever get.
Right.
And then there's that more social posed, she calls it posed laughter, where you are basically laughing at someone else's semi-funny joke, but you're trying to show camaraderie.
To think girl in a bar, handsome stranger, he says something and she goes, ah, ha, 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 ha.
Right, exactly. Or, your boss tells a joke or is trying to be funny and
Yeah.
you're like, ah, because you want to show some solidarity with that person. And what was interesting to me from her TED Talk, number one, she's funny. For being a neuroscientist, she was crazy funny and crazy confident. I would love to be that confident. So I need to hang out with Sophie some. But that laughter is contagious and that we're 30 times more likely to laugh with another person who's laughing than we are to laugh by ourselves.
Which I think seems kind of intuitive, right? When you're
Yes.
sitting at home watching something funny, you may chuckle, but you're going to laugh more if you were watching it with a group of friends.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things I found listening to Caitlin's book, because I plugged in with my earphones and I've got it playing as I go about my day, on the funny parts, when I laugh out loud, I felt a little self-conscious because the other people around me don't have any idea what I'm laughing at. I think I seem a little crazy or insane.
But that's kind of you. You're
oh,
a little self-conscious.
Little self-conscious. That's true. That's true.
Let it go. You're just having a good time.
When we're together, or if I'm sitting and watching something funny with Hubster, I feel more allowed to laugh.
Well, it's actually a social thing. So you called it posed laughter or fake laughter, but it's not bad. It's a way that we as a species signal to the other person, I get it. I hear what you're saying. I see that you're, reaching out to me and trying to humor me. And it is important. And I think we probably laugh more together because we are socially bonding. I didn't just kind of chuckle in my head. I chuckled out loud. So you knew that I found that funny. And I know that you found it funny because you chuckled also.
You chuckled also.
And
yes.
it is contagious.
Yes.
And after she said that, what it made me think of were the laugh tracks.
Oh, yeah.
Which clearly they thought of a long time ago. It's almost hard to watch sitcoms from the 80s. I mean, not just because they're bad, but the laugh tracks are almost obnoxious now.
Exactly.
But it was like a light bulb. Oh, I know why they did that, because they're telling you, laugh with this. It's laugh.
Yes.
Now. And so we've been able to see what happens when you take that away.
Oh, yeah. Tell us about that.
The pandemic.
Yes.
Because the late night talk show hosts, a lot of them are doing them at home and there's no live studio audience. The laughter is the punctuation at the end of the joke and it's awkward.
It's awkward. I was trying to watch Stephen Colbert and it's just...
And he is funny.
And he's funny. And it was just awkward to watch him deliver the joke and there's no response.
And maybe we're so programmed to think if he says it and there's no response that he bombed. And it's got to be hard for them.
Oh, it's got to be. I can't imagine.
Yeah. Well, I know it's hard for them because Michael Che, on the first Weekend Update on SNL at Home, he invited some through Zoom to listen to his jokes. And what he said was...
Yeah. Okay. Hold on a second. Let's cue that up. Hold on.
Let's let him say it.
I'm Michael Che, and this is obviously a strange way to do the show. It's like telling jokes with nobody just looks like hostage footage.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like a hostage negotiation.
Yes, it's hostage footage. Yes. I don't know how people do podcasts alone, because if I didn't have you giggling at everything I said, I would just assume I'm not funny and I would go eat worms.
It would be so hard to do a podcast alone. I have to any podcaster who's on their own, because that's crazy hard.
Maron? Does he do it alone? I don't know. I feel like the good podcasts have guests.
They do. Or they have compadres. They have partners.
Right. So we're getting off track. Laughter's contagious. Something laugh track. Something COVID. Okay.
All right. So I think it's really interesting too. We need to talk about the differences between humor and laughter, because they're similar, but they are not the same thing. So when I think about, is this weirdly human? Humor, yes. Humor is very weirdly human. We need these big brains to be able to come up with jokes and make things funny, make fun of things. But laughter, lots of mammals make noises that sound like laughter. Doing the deep dive for this episode, rats, dogs, dolphins, upper primates, they all will make verbal responses in response to verbal noises in response to a physical thing like tickling, which I thought was interesting. I mean, My dog gets very playful, and I feel like he engages with me when he wants
Is
to play.
goofiness the same as humor, do you think?
Ooh, that's a great question. I guess it depends on how you want to define goofiness. You know,
I guess I'm thinking of my dog being silly and playful, or
I mean, my dog definitely.
dads. I don't know. Just dads.
Yeah,
Not any
yeah.
one specific dad.
Oh,
Dads are just goofy.
dads are goofy, and I mean that's the
Sorry, dads. We
that's
love your goofiness.
but I think that's kind of a cultural thing. I mean, there's the dad joke, and dads like to be funny in those ways, and kids love it. Even though these different animals, can respond to the physical stimuli, and they want to be playful, they can't make a joke. A monkey can't make a joke. So
Listen,
that's different for a human.
we'll throw the rat studies into the notes on the podcast, and they're dry. They're very dry.
All right.
Interesting, maybe, but just dry. So we'll throw that into the notes. You can look up the laughing rats. But rats do laugh, and rats who laugh like to hang out with other rats who laugh.
Which I thought was really cool. I
Yeah.
mean, you're dissing my science, but that was
I'm
kind of a
not
cool thing.
dissing your science. I'm dissing your delivery.
Okay, fine.
But yes, when you're talking about making a joke, that is a human thing. I know of no non-human animals who are stand-up comedians.
Oh, that'd be something, wouldn't it? The orangutan.
Here's my rat telling a joke. Rats do not tell jokes.
Oh, that's so true. All right.
But maybe they're goofy. I don't know. So we're obviously going to talk about humor through the lens of humans, because that's what we are.
And that's what we are, baby.
Can't really know what's going on in the
Weirdly,
rat's head.
humans would be on point for us. Okay. So, humor is this complicated process that we need our big brains to do. We've got to understand, and it does cross cultures. So we're talking about Catelyn, right? Some of the references that she made, I didn't fully get, because I'm not British. I don't understand maybe the context. I don't know the store that she's talking about. I don't know some of the slang words that she was saying.
Well, sometimes she'll throw in a political figure that I'm not familiar with, but I get it. We have some sort of American equivalent, I'm sure.
But I feel like I don't fully get the depth of the joke because I don't know that person.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
And when we are trying to make a young child laugh, we can still do that. I think that's where we lean more into goofy, the slapstick.
Yeah.
It's easy to make a small child laugh.
Well, it's very easy to surprise them.
It's easy to surprise them. And you need surprise.
Yes.
You need tension.
You need tension. You need exaggeration of something that's already there.
Right.
Make it bigger, make it more meaningful.
And with them, it's a lot of absurdity. I'm good. When I'm trying to make a child laugh, I go for the absurd, say something so absurd that it's funny, because obviously this wouldn't happen.
And, we've all dated that guy who's just goofy all the time. Can't be serious. And, he's fun to hang out with for a while, but, it's exhausting after a while too.
Well, because we don't want to be goofy all the time.
We also learned about the two different kinds of humor, adaptive humor versus maladaptive humor. Humor can be used in very positive and good ways, or it can be used in very negative, bullying kind of ways. So adaptive humor, which is what we want, is where we use jokes as a means to, strengthen our bonds between people. We want to amuse ourselves and others. We want to reduce tension. Back from the embarrassment episode, when we do something embarrassing, everyone around us feels tense, and to be able to laugh about that breaks the tension, relieves the tension for everyone. It's like, hey, it's okay.
Yeah. So if you do something horribly embarrassing, if you then laugh about it, it releases the tension for your audience, and they can laugh about it too. And they actually remember that as a very positive thing.
Yes.
Whereas if we didn't crack the joke, we didn't laugh, then it's just tension, and we're just tense.
Yes. Well,
that's not funny.
If instead we, flush and we cringe and we run because we're so embarrassed
for you,
then everyone's embarrassed for you, and the tension just hangs. It stays. And that's not what we want. That's not what we want.
We don't. But if we were stand-up comedians, we would want to create a little bit of tension.
Oh, sure.
And then release the tension. It's the release that
Yes.
feels really good.
Or maybe if we were podcasters, we would want to create some tension and then release the
Especially if
tension.
we wanted to have more humorous
Exactly. We
podcast.
want to have a more humorous podcast. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'll think on
Yeah,
that.
think about that. Okay. On the other side is that maladaptive, the bad way to use humor. And we all know these people too. That's those cringy, racist jokes. Those are the sarcastic and the disparaging jokes that people like to make.
Or
And
trying to get a laugh at the expense of someone else.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And then we like self-deprecation. We talked about that in the embarrassment
Yes.
episode, but if we go too far
Yeah.
into self-deprecation, this is maladaptive.
And
right?
oh, yikes, that's no good.
And that is not necessarily a release of tension
No.
if you're so self-deprecating that we are tense for you.
Yeah.
No.
Are we tense for you, or are we slide into pity? I
Yeah,
think I slide
pity.
into pity.
Pity.
Oof,
Yes.
real quick.
That's a good word, pity.
Yeah. We all like people who are funny. I read a study where 90% of men and 80% of women, of course, this is that typical undergrad demographic, we say we want a funny partner. You know, when we're looking for a romantic partner, we want someone who's
Well,
funny.
they say they want someone with a sense of humor.
Yes, we want someone with a sense of humor. Yes.
But what they found out was that men and women mean different things when they say they want a sense of humor.
Absolutely. And that was surprising to me. So tell us about that. Putting you on the spot.
So when women say they want a partner with a sense of humor, they mean they want someone who makes them laugh, someone who's witty. When men say they want someone with a sense of humor, they mean they want someone to laugh at their jokes.
Which is kind of opposite things.
It is. I have a hard time not wanting both of those things. When I say I want someone with a sense of humor, what I actually mean is I want someone who shares my sense of humor, and that for the most part, not 100%, but a very large overlap in the Venn diagram, we find the same things funny. And I want him to laugh at my jokes, and I want to be able to laugh at his jokes. So again, the demographic, the guinea pigs for these studies tend to be undergrad students.
demographic.
And
Absolutely.
I just think they're not sophisticated enough to answer that question.
Okay, but that takes us back to Sophie Scott at her TED Talk. And she was saying that, we really don't fully appreciate humor until we're in our 40s. So that kind of makes sense. We definitely don't have it in our teen years, and we don't have it in our 20s when these people were being polled. And our sense of humor refines and matures. And we're at the age now where we've matured enough that we do want a partner who will not just make us laugh, but will laugh at our jokes too.
For sure. But you know what? We also did the follow-up study in which we polled our husbands. So two men.
Two men. Well, we
Two
really
men.
should probably pull a few more. Make it statistically significant. I don't know.
Sure. And we did the thing where we poked and we prodded. Okay, we died in a plane crash and you've had the requisite 10 years to mourn and you're looking for a new partner. What are you looking for in a partner? And we poked and poked and poked and poked, trying to get them to say what we wanted them to say, which was a woman who is smart and funny. That is all I wanted that man to say. Nowhere did that. I was not able to get anywhere near that.
It's true.
The first thing he wanted
was to be a stay-at-home dog dad.
He wants someone to support him. He wants the sugar mama.
Yeah.
So that was sad because that's not where we are right now.
Well,
so poor guy. Yeah, that was the first thing.
All right. Well,
your husband said, "I want someone who does not annoy the fuck out of me."
Which is where we stand.
So what I learned is, don't poll men. We don't want their opinions. We want them to say a certain thing. They're not going to say it. You may have to cut that out.
Yeah. We really should have polled a few more men. I'm just saying.
Maybe I'm just going to keep polling men until somebody answers the way I want them to answer.
And then it's going to skew the data.
No, wrong. No, wrong. No, wrong. Okay, this guy is going to say the thing.
All right.
Well, we also decided that we need to change the test instead of waiting for them to pull this out of the thin air. Yes, you have Okay, what's more important? This or a sense of humor? Okay, what's more important? This or this? When you say a sense of humor, what does that mean?
I don't know what to say.
Well,
I can't get in their heads.
okay, so women aren't funny.
That's not true.
I know that's not true, but that is
the stereotype.
That's the stereotype. That's the common knowledge. There were debates years ago about women comedians just aren't as funny as male comedians. And in fact, you can Google, are women funny? And you don't get yes. The first article that pops up is why men are funnier than women. And the second article that pops up is why men don't like women who are funny. I started reading these articles, had the epiphany, you know what? Of course, women are funny. Just like women can be in politics now, but that used to be a man's world. There's some pushback with women entering the field of comedy, which was long a male dominated area. Humor shows your intelligence, and we have pretty standardized tests that say women are just as smart as men. If we are more, what's the word I'm looking for? The verbal
Articulate?
intelligence. Yes.
We're more articulate.
Now, as an individual, not necessarily, but on a whole.
As a gender, I think we have, as a gender, I think
My exception proves the rule, right?
tend to, as a gender, I think we tend to have higher verbal skills.
We can say with these tests, are women intelligent? Do we have verbal skills? Is Ellen DeGeneres a human? Yes, yes, yes. And women are funny. Stop debating it. I think this is just like we don't have as many women in politics as we should, not because they aren't capable, but because it's just been a male-dominated field for so long.
And I'm hoping that, because when we started digging into this, we found so many just stand-up comics, authors like Catlin, and stand-up comics who were so funny women, beautiful, funny women.
Yes, you can be beautiful and funny.
Yes, which we will get to a little bit later.
Okay.
All right, I think this is a great place to take a break.
All right.
All right, we'll be back.
If you're a small business or you own a small business and you're listening to this podcast right now, you could sponsor us. And
this could be your space.
Yes, this could be your space. So here's the actual test. You go out there, women, and you be smart and you be funny. If any man doesn't think that you're as attractive because you're funny, then fuck him. I mean, don't literally
no,
fuck
don't
him.
literally
We're
fuck
saying,
him. We're
like,
saying blow him. No,
no,
don't do that either. No,
we're saying you dodged a bullet and
Yes.
you don't want that guy. And I think
Yeah.
female comedians are just as likely to be married as the general population, if
Absolutely.
not more so.
If not more so.
So there you go. We're not going to discuss whether or not women are funny because of course they are. Do men like them? Good men do. I don't know. Fuck the ones who don't.
Smart men do. Confident men do. And those are the kind of men we want to be with.
Yeah. If he wants you to sit there and be quiet and not say anything humorous, then you don't want to
Stay
be
far away
Woo.
from that one. Woo.
No.
So thinking about all of the amazing and culturally diverse, Ellen and Hannah Gadsby are lesbian, funny. Holy crap, these people are funny. I enjoyed so much watching the stand-up of Eliza Schlesinger. Oh God, I hope I said her name right. She was funny. She's got 5 Netflix specials.
And I would like to point out that I think Eliza is what you would call a traditionally attractive woman.
Yeah, she's an American beauty, I would say.
Yes.
She's got the blonde hair. She's got a nice figure. She has light skin and blue eyes. Yes.
Very
she's
traditionally attractive.
American beauty. Yes.
Yes. Ali Wong is hilarious.
Oh my God.
I love her.
And did you see the one where she's pregnant? I mean, she
There are
gave
two.
Yeah.
There are two. The one she did one very pregnant. What was it called? Something Cobra.
Yes.
And then 2 years later, she is pregnant again.
Oh God.
First of all, I would like to say that no one wears pregnant as well as she does.
Amy Schumer did a really good job in her stand-up when she was pregnant.
Really?
Oh my God. Yes.
Okay. I thought Ali looked great in both of them. Okay, so here you go. There are 2 comedians who are pregnant. So clearly all men did not run and hide
from the funny chicks. No.
From the funny chicks. Nope, they get knocked up too.
Oh God. Oh, but I loved all these women. So, Ali Wong, loved her. Tiffany Haddish. is it Haddish or Hadish? Haddish? I think
I
it's
say
Haddish.
Haddish.
I say Haddish. Okay. She is funny as shit. Oh my God.
Rebel Wilson. I want her to be my best friend. I'm sorry. Like, you would get it. Like, when you tell your husband,
yeah, sure.
like, I would totally sleep with Brad Pitt.
Yeah, you're going to cheat on me with Rebel Wilson.
I would cheat on you with Rebel Wilson. Yes, I would. I love her.
Well, I would cheat on you with Mindy Kaling because she's awesome. Oh my God, she's hilarious.
And see, that one came out of left field. I'm looking at this list. Who would Elle cheat on me with? I wasn't gonna go with Mindy Kaling, but I do like her. God. Can we have like a threesome at brunch?
Oh, I would love
threesome.
I would love that.
Me, you, and Mindy.
Yeah.
So,
oh God, Caitlin Moran, please, let's go have lunch with her.
Oh, Jesus. For sure. So I mentioned to my adult daughter this morning what our show is going to be about today, and she sent me a list of women
that I'd never heard of.
That I'd never heard of either. And it was such a long list, but she watches a lot of British comedy. Aisling Bea, Catherine Ryan, Sarah Millican, Lolly Adafope, Sally Phillips, Jessica Knappett, Lou Sanders, Sarah Kendall. These were her top, I don't know how many that is, 8 top 10 funny women. And so now I've got even more homework. I can't wait to go watch all of these women.
That's what I was just thinking, because how much Netflix did we watch and how much YouTube did we watch to prepare for this?
I know. And then we missed all of these women.
And yet we missed all of these women. But I love it. This makes my heart happy, because as with everything else in society, we are rising. Women are rising, and we are saying, fuck you, patriarchy. We are going to come out. We're going to do these things. We are funny. We're going to be in politics. We're going to come out and as lesbian and make a funny show about it. We're going to be ourselves, and it's a-okay.
Oh, speaking of politics and humor, what is the story about the humorous female politician?
Madeleine Albright.
Thank you.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. So let's talk about that a little bit, because
that's what I'm trying to get you to do, and talk about that, because clearly I don't know the story. I just had a vague recollection of the story.
Using humor. And that was from the Hidden Brain episode. Okay. So thank you, Shankar. And I love you, by the way. Shankar Vedantam is the host of Hidden Brain, and I so wish I could be on.
We're not talking about him
right now. So in that episode, they talked about using humor as a tool to bond and a tool to disarm our opponents. And Madeleine Albright, who was Secretary of State under, I believe it was Clinton.
I feel like it was Clinton.
I feel like it was Clinton, but I could be wrong about that. But
if we're wrong, we'll put it in the show notes.
Totally. Okay, so Madeleine Albright was Secretary of State, and she was a master of using humor to disarm. To disarm.
Can I repeat that? You just said Madeleine Albright was a master of using humor. I don't think that's the first thing we think of when we think of Madeleine Albright.
For sure. Absolutely. But she would use humor when she was dealing with the Soviet equivalent of the Secretary of State. And I don't know what their title was, and I'm really stumbling over this right now. But the whole idea was, making a joke with an opponent or an enemy increases the feelings of cooperation, it increases bonding, and it can have a ripple effect going forward in improving interactions in the future, which was fantastic. Go to Hidden Brain and listen to that episode, but she was a master, and I love it.
Well, that's even trickier, because you said she's talking to people from other countries, and we've got the cultural divide. So what we as Americans find funny, someone in Russia may not find funny. And that's actually a very risky thing to do, to tell a joke to someone from another culture, because it may not come off that way. Eastern cultures traditionally do not value humor the way that we do. So you can be seen as unprofessional, though I don't know how you could consider Madeleine Albright unprofessional. That's a risky move
For sure. What I remember from the episode wasn't that she told a joke, but it was that they like sang karaoke together or something as an icebreaker at a party. And then going forward in the negotiations, their relationship was more cordial and was more cooperative.
Singing karaoke with someone is always funny.
Right, because I think she initiated this sense of playfulness or this sense of, hey, we don't have to be serious all the time, even though we're in these very serious positions.
Yeah.
And I loved that.
And we are cooperatively playing. I'm like you, you're like me. We are humans and we're bonding.
We're humans and we're bonding. Yeah. There's some great data that says that this is true. And I love that. When I think about humor and laughter, there's what is that saying? Laughter is the best medicine, because laughter is really meaningful and it's very meaningful to humans. And it does all these cool things to our body. And that, again, comes from the humorous episode of Hidden Brain.
What kinds of things?
I know.
What does it do to my body?
The scientist that they interviewed for this, she said that making a joke is like exercising, meditating, and having sex all at the same time. And I was like, what? I want to hear more about this. You had me at sex.
I've done all of those things separately, and I've laughed too. So what's she talking about?
So she's talking about drugging each other in a healthy way, meaning when we laugh together, when we share a humorous moment, laughing together increases our endorphins, which are those feel-good chemicals in your brain.
So there's the exercise.
Yeah, there's that you get from exercise. It decreases cortisol, which we all know cortisol is an inflammatory chemical. Bad.
And there's your meditation.
And there's your meditation. So it brings cortisol down.
How is laughter like sex?
Oxytocin, baby.
Yeah. So we're bonding.
We're bonding. Exactly.
So watch a comedy with your husband and then have sex. And then you two are just bonded.
I love it. Yeah. Well, and
I don't know that that's actually true. Don't. We should put a disclaimer. This is not medical advice.
For sure. But I also found another study about how humor and laughter improves the aging process. And,
tell.
Like you said, anything that says improving the aging process, my antenna is up.
Sure. Yeah. Tell me more.
And so, laughter and finding humor in life improves our physical health. And I can see how laughter would just improve your cardiovascular system and
well, if you're decreasing cortisol and inflammation, inflammation is the root of all evil. Again, this is not medical advice, but
it's the root of lots of evil, that's for sure.
Yeah, okay.
Using humor and laughter improves our social communication, and lots of elderly people need that. They get very lonely. They need to be more social. So that's something that if you can laugh with your buddy, yay, we're going to stay connected.
I plan to do that.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
I mean, we're obviously going to outlive our husbands, and then
and
then we will have the grumpy old women. They did the grumpy old men movie.
Yeah. No, Nan, we're the Golden Girls. Hello.
Okay.
I want
to need a third. Is it Mindy Kaling?
Oh, please, Mindy. Actually, any of the women on the list I would be happy with.
Yeah, totally fine.
Using humor and laughter helps improves that sense of satisfaction in life. Yay!
Yeah.
Okay, all good stuff. And when I think about all of this, and I think about my life as an adult, oh my God, I have been way too serious my entire life, and you have too. Okay. I probably have been less so than me, but oh my God, I've been too serious because I was stupid and I bought into the idea that women can only be one of three things. We can be cute, we can be smart, or we can be funny. And I leaned into smart. I'm like that. Okay, I have to. I'm smart.
You can't be taken seriously if you're funny.
You can't be taken seriously if you're cute. You can't be taken seriously if you're funny.
Oh, honey, you were cute.
I don't know. Maybe, but I didn't lean into that. I didn't maximize that because I wanted to be smart. I wanted to be taken seriously. I wanted to be respected.
That's fair.
And that was my way of trying to control the world. And so I felt like I had to choose one of those three. And so I chose smart. And that's so stupid. We can be all three. People,
you can be all three.
Women, girls, you can be all three. You can be hot as shit. You can be
Eliza Schlesinger is all three.
She is.
And you don't have to be a professional comedian to be funny.
Yeah.
You can be the person who makes The Office a little bit better because you're making people laugh. You can make yourself laugh. If you think it's funny, then
someone else will too.
Yeah. Prioritize humor.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Oh.
So here's another good place to take a break. All right, we'll be back in a little bit. So yeah, let's wrap things up because we've covered a whole bunch of stuff, but there's kind of one last little bit I wanted to get in before we were done.
What's the takeaway?
What's the takeaway? So I've been too serious in my life. OMG, too serious. I've spent decades being too serious.
No one could ever guess that about you, that, you know, even though you're the one who pulls up the studies and tries to read them to us.
Studies.
No. Dear God, don't. That's what I said when I got here today, is we're not going to talk about the rat studies. Do you know why? Because they were written by
real scientists.
Real scientists. It was a thesis. They were doing their thesis. And if I think of anything when I think of reading someone's thesis, it's not, oh, this is going to be a laugh riot.
It was good information, though.
I know. How do you make humor not funny? You read someone's thesis about it. It's terrible.
True.
So yeah, no one would guess that you've ever been serious.
Okay, well, I don't quite
okay,
know. How
also, that was sarcasm.
Yeah, okay, thanks. Okay. So I've been way too serious the majority of my life, and now I feel the freedom to not be so serious. And I'm thinking, okay, how can I do this? How can I do it better? Because I'm always trying to learn a little bit. I'm a little nerdy. Surprise, surprise. There are some things that we can do to be more lighthearted.
You know, Steve Martin said that he wasn't born funny. He just sort of studied it and tried and got better at it. And
yeah.
Ooh, once again, our non-sponsor masterclass. He
Right.
goes in depth about, I have no special skills. And maybe he's just being humble. But he wasn't the kid who was just always making his friends laugh. He just decided that this was a good career choice and studied it and became funny. And you can do that too. If you are too goddamn serious right now and you know who you are, you can change that.
That's right. All right. So number one, let's prioritize humor. And that has got to go up on the inspo board somewhere.
Yes, it does.
Because that is my new motto for life. I'm going to prioritize humor.
It's not frivolous.
No.
It's good for you. It's good for your relationships. It's good for those around you. There's no reason not to.
That's right. And number two, hang out with other people who make you laugh, which is why I like to hang out with you.
Aww.
Because it's so much fun.
Ooh, you could bring the rats back in. The ones who like to laugh, like to hang in with the other rats.
Okay, I don't really want to hang out with rats.
No. That's not what I'm saying. But no, the rats who like to laugh like to hang out with other rats who like to laugh.
Yes.
And so quit hanging around with Debbie Downer
or David Downer. Hang out with people who make you laugh.
Though Debbie Downer's character on SNL does make me laugh.
I know.
But we all know that person who you talk to her. It's like, how are you? It's like, lupus.
You know what? We know many people like that.
Yes.
So just maybe, minimize your time with those people and move on. Next, find ways to laugh about the challenges in your life. And my husband and I have really leaned into this one because we're raising teenagers. And this is a shit show, in case any of you don't know about this. Raising children, total shit show. Hardest thing I've ever done for no money and no time off. Teen years are especially difficult. There are times that my husband and I look at each other and then we kind of do a little wink and we have to make a joke about how terrible this really is. And sometimes we do it in front of the children and sometimes we just do it behind their backs. But it does help us to cope and it bonds us in the us against them.
I am fortunate
showdown.
In this respect, in that I didn't have to learn this skill because that is how my family dealt with most adversity. They cracked jokes about it.
Lucky.
My family is going to be the one sitting and snickering at a funeral, and it's not, we're not intentionally being disrespectful. It's when something is painful, we make a joke about it. And I guess you can take that too far, if you're that person who's always cracking jokes and never serious and not feeling your feelings, that it's a defense mechanism. It's
Of
a
course.
wall.
Of course.
Sure. But I like to think that we use it in a healthy way. And when everyone's tense, family is grieving about this tragedy, and your mother says something absurd and funny and you all laugh, it releases the tension.
It's
It
back to the
releases
bonding.
it's the bonding that we're doing together, but it also releases the tension. The oh God, oh God, oh God. And now we've released the tension and it's okay. It's okay. And we're gonna laugh again.
Yeah.
We're gonna get through this.
Yeah. I think it says to everyone, this is shit, but we're going to get through it.
Yep.
And then last but not least, find entertaining stuff. For me, that means I had to cull my Instagram and Facebook and Twitter feeds. I'm following people who are funny. I am unfollowing people who are too serious. I'm limiting my bad news intake.
We're not saying never watch the news.
I'm not saying never watch the news. I'm saying I'm limiting my consumption of it.
Right.
And
watch more things that make you laugh than things that stress you out.
Yes. And oh my gosh, I have tapped into the beauty of YouTube, where you can go and watch a 15-minute highlight of somebody's stand-up.
Have you heard of this site called YouTube? Spelled Y-O-U.
Stop it. Stop it.
T-U-B-E.
You are so mean to me. Maximize the funny things that are in your feed. I've followed, God help me, on Facebook, some pun sites. Oh God, they're so funny.
Wait. Okay, I know I just made fun of you about YouTube, but help me out. How do you use that for funny? Because during this week of research, I went to YouTube and I Googled funniest videos, what did I forget what I searched. Something about most funny something. You can't search funniest videos or you'll just get all AFV, America's Funniest Videos.
Seriously.
But when you search funniest videos, everything that comes up is fails or stupid people being stupid.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, what does this say about our culture? That if I want to watch something really funny, it's all
guys
people falling off of trampolines.
And guys getting hit in the balls.
Yeah.
Seriously.
That's I guess that's what we call lowbrow.
That's lowbrow. It's the base humor. So I took this an extra step. So I went to Google and I typed in funny female comedians. And then I found that article that I sent you that had the list and the highlights. So then I went and I looked up each of those women, and they've got little clips on YouTube, and they're hilarious.
And once you watch some of these clips, then YouTube's like, okay, we see what you're after.
Then exactly. The
you.
algorithms say, oh, this is what she wants. Yes. And so, yes, you get more.
And I don't want to sound too good for the base humor, because I could watch cats falling off of things all day. I just...
And when you find out that the guy who fell off the trampoline can get up and walk, and there are no bones coming out, it's fine.
Yes. If you actually watch someone fall and die, like, that's not funny. Yeah. But hopefully it wouldn't be in that funniest video if that's what happened. So you're expecting that he's going to get up.
Right.
And speaking of cats falling off of things, how did we put it the other day? Cats are the hold my beer guys of the animal kingdom. They're like, oh yeah, I can totally make this jump. And just like the hold my beer guys, it is so funny when they don't make it. It is so funny.
I know. I'm not a cat person. I still think they're hilarious.
Oh, yes, because they're the hold my beer guys.
They are.
And that's why I think also because cats take themselves too seriously.
Right.
Again, I may be anthropomorphizing cats a little bit, but cats take themselves too seriously, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm totally going to make that jump from the dresser to the refrigerator. I'm totally going to do it. And when they don't, it's hilarious.
Well,
it's
and then they
funny.
act like I wasn't going to do that. I didn't mean to do that. All right, weirdos, you've wasted another good 30 minutes with us today. Thank you so much for watching or listening or whatever you're doing.
Fail. That was funny.
Oh, God.
Leave that in there. Let them laugh at you.
For sure.
No, I wanted to wrap it up like the comedians do and say, thanks, you guys have been a great audience. Oh, I want to say it better. Okay. Thanks, you've been a great audience.
All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Too much.
Bye.
Bye. Okay.
All right, back to it.
A little wet and scratchy.
All right, let's give it a minute.
That's why I'm the disaster artist. It's wet but scratchy.
Oh my God.
How would I even use that in conversation? My disaster artist. Blah, blah, blah.